Good morning. I'm with Robert Winton, Senior VP of Operations for Gunnison Copper. The symbol is GCU on the TSX in Canada and GCUMF on the OTC in the US. Robert, how are you this morning?
I'm doing very good, Robert. How about yourself?
Excellent. First production. So you guys have done it. Congratulations. So tell us about this big milestone.
I appreciate that. Yeah, it was a significant milestone. Came a little bit ahead of schedule, which is always a nice thing to do for your partners and for the markets as well. So yeah, so last Monday we began harvesting copper. We were able to do it for 4 days. We produced quite a bit over 200,000 pounds. I was able to get my hands on one of those cathodes. So that's right behind me is a Made in America cathode, right from Southeast Arizona at the Johnson campsite.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's an incredible milestone, as you mentioned, and yeah, the team really put in a lot of effort over this last year. We broke ground in July of last year, and it's been quite a journey to get us to now becoming the latest and the next great American producer of copper.
So tell us about that. I'm just kind of interested in the details. I mean, I was there a couple of weeks ago, but you weren't yet pulling those 100-pound plates up. So tell us about how that starts up and how much copper will you ship in the next few weeks, I guess.
Yeah, so that's exactly it. So yeah, we stripped that 200,000 pounds last week, and we'll probably look to get that on a truck headed for destinations in the US supply chain into next week. So yeah, it's about a 2-week turnaround to get all the assays together, make sure you got all your paperwork ready, get those trucks scheduled and get them onto site. And yeah, you unfortunately were just a week early for being able to witness pulling those sheets out. But we were able to bring a videographer last week, so we're going to have some great video, some great pictures. They're going to be on our website here in the coming few days. So yeah, please tell your folks that you report out to that. Yeah, there's going to be some great video of that first copper being harvested at that Johnson Camp mine site.
I'm looking forward to that coverage, and the video, I'll definitely post that on X and co.ca. So tell us about Made in America copper and why this is so important, right now for the country.
Yeah, we've seen with this administration and even the last administration being able to secure the critical minerals necessary for the Department of Energy, the Department of Defense, being able to supply these critical things like AI and the data centers that are really driving the future of American growth. Copper is critical to those, and being able to mine that ore in America, being able to produce a final product in America. And again, we don't have a great deal of that. We do unfortunately have to ship about 30% of our copper to foreign smelters in order for processing to get to the finished copper product. So being able to produce that right in America with American workers, hardworking folks in Southeast Arizona is critically important to the supply chain and again to those critical industries in energy and defense.
Can you tell us about how the federal government and maybe even the governments there in Arizona, the state government and local, are helping the mining industry with Made in America copper?
Yeah, we've really seen an awakening to the administrations over the last decade. Certainly other countries around the world have taken leaps and bounds with respect to securing those critical minerals. So we've seen the state of Arizona really ensure that mining is at the forefront, being able to secure the water, the permits necessary to ensure copper, which is one of the 5 C's of the Arizona marketplace, being able to ensure that copper especially is secured. And with the federal government, with the last administration, we secured a 48C tax credit. This was really coming from the Department of Energy, and again, to secure those critical copper needs for the future as there is a significant supply-demand gap in the United States. And we've seen as soon as this new administration took office in January, we saw a lot of executive orders with respect to how do we secure critical minerals, how do we incentivize critical minerals. We've seen some government investment into the critical mineral space. So again, this is all creating an environment where we're really trying to secure this for the future of America, making sure that we can supply our own needs with respect to the metals and minerals that we need for the future.
So tell us about the ramp up at Johnson Camp, and how does the company grow from here?
That is a great question. So the ramp up fundamentally is just increasing our mining rates as we go along. The next big ramp up, the next big milestone that we're going to be looking is starting up the Nuton processing. So our partners Nuton, the Rio Tinto venture, we're going to be stacking and crushing ore starting in about 3 weeks time from now. So once we start stacking and crushing and placing this Nuton ore, which is a sulfide bacterial leach process, we will be producing copper from this process by the end of Q4. So again, by November, December, we'll be producing sulfide heap leach copper, which is really the demonstration of the Nuton technology. So, and as those two processes work in parallel to deliver copper to the electrowinning circuit and ultimately to sheets of copper, we look to get to that 25 million pound per annum, so a run rate of about 2.1 million pounds per month. We look to be hitting that by the end of Q1 into early Q2, and really just continue that ramp up of JCM and being able to produce that made in America copper.
Okay, so a big next 6 months for Johnson Camp, for Gunnison Copper, and for this new sulfide extraction technology, this novel technology that you have on site at Johnson Camp. That's going to be big. That's big for copper. That's big for made in America copper. That's big for the mining industry. And it's all happening there in southern Arizona. So let's talk about longer term for the company, Robert. So obviously Johnson Camp is fantastic. You guys are in the process of ramping up to reach nameplate by Q1 of next year. But what's the long-term vision for the company, and where can we really grow to be a larger mining company?
So yeah, the growth opportunity at Gunnison Copper is in our Gunnison ore body. That work progresses as we sit here now. We started a high value add program earlier this year. Those results are starting to come in. What we've decided as an organization is we want to update our PEA, so our preliminary economic assessment of the large Gunnison open pit. And again, that had economics of $1.3 billion of NPV. It had great operating costs below $1.95 per pound. And again, that's a cash producer of about $350 million a year at $4 copper. We're seeing copper prices sort of exceed those as we go along in 2025 and into 26. So again, the long-term growth of this organization is in that Gunnison Copper. And we will be putting out a PEA, looking to get results out by the end of the year, but certainly get that report out into the hands of the market by Q1. So really it's putting those HVA, that high value add program, putting those technical learnings we've had over the last number of months, and any of the economic gains that we've been able to produce from the ore sorting, from the commercialization of products like limestone and aggregate from the alluvium. These are critical with respect to how does Gunnison as an organization grow, and that growth is really rooted in the Gunnison Copper project.
You know, what really struck me when I was there a couple weeks ago was all the infrastructure that has been built there. I mean, I don't know what the replacement cost is of that, but it's got to be substantial, over $100 million, I would guess. How does that set you up to potentially move into a mining operation of the big open pit?
So yeah, that Johnson Camp mine, this partnership with Rio Tinto and the Nuton group, it really allows us to generate a cash flow that really funds that big project. So again, by creating a team, we've got technical expertise on site, we've got the environmental expertise. We've really built a team, exceptional team here in Southeast Arizona to run the Johnson Camp mine, and we're able to utilize that, leverage off those critical skills in order to really run that Gunnison project and give it the full attention that's required, that the market really demands. We're a junior mining company, but we're a junior mining company that's producing made in America copper while being able to deliver a world-class copper project just in our spare time, if you will. So it's quite an exciting times here at Gunnison Copper.
So tell us about the catalyst the company has lined up for the next, I don't know, year. and how can shareholders see more shareholder value?
So yeah, those catalysts are going to come hot and heavy here for the remainder of 2025. They're really going to be driven by the news flow with respect to copper sales. And again, the selling of copper is a big milestone for the organization. As we ramp up the Nuton technology and that operation, there's going to be plenty of milestones that are achieved. Nuton's coming out with new websites going to help Gunnison Copper really be able to drive the message of the important work that's happening at the Johnson Camp mine site with respect to the future of the copper industry as a whole, with respect to sulfide ore and the future of its treatment. And then as we get into 2026, we're really going to start to see the Gunnison Copper project, the big value add to the organization, really start to come into the news flow. We start to announce how the high value add program has really improved the economics, as it reduced the capital cost. We're going to see that in a new technical report for Gunnison Copper. And then we're going to transition into getting those permits in hand, really transitioning into the pre-feasibility study for Gunnison Copper. And sort of by the end of the year, we look to be producing those results, as well as we believe a significant announcement with respect to how do we actually bring this into production. That's going to come from a strategic partnership that we've been working on for quite some time. And we really look to be able to bring that to the market as we produce 2026 and get going on this Gunnison Copper project.
Sounds like the company is going to get a lot more exposure over the coming weeks because of this transition to being a real mining company now that's making made in America copper in Southern Arizona. But how else are you going to get the story out there to the larger audience?
So yeah, we've taken it's been a whirlwind of activity for the senior management team. We've been hitting investors where they live. We've been to Florida, California, New York. We've been to into Texas. So we're really out there beating the band with respect to how do we get this story into the hands of investment community, really tell this wonderful story that we have at Gunnison Copper, and get those investors excited about what the future holds. As again, we're a junior mining producer of copper, but the value is coming as we bring that Gunnison Copper project into more of a nameplate for this organization.
Maybe the Wall Street Journal will cover the copper mining in Arizona story because it's so topical and very relevant today. I don't know. We'll see. So Robert, great conversation. I guess I'll just give you the final word here on this important day for the company.
So yeah, very, very proud of the milestone. The team, the wonderful team that we put together at site has really come through, worked really hard. More importantly, they've worked really safely. We've been able to maintain and grow our 11+ year of low lost time accidents. We've really been able to grow the partnership with Nuton. We're getting a lot closer with this group of with very talented and smart individuals that are on our site, really looking to demonstrate their technology. So yeah, such a proud moment. We thank all of our stakeholders. We thank the local communities who have really stood behind us. I was able to get with the senior team of Wilcox over the last week and really highlighted their desire to really grow their community and the economic growth. And Gunnison Copper is a key contributor to that in the Cochise County District.
Thank you, Robert, and well done again, and to the team there in Cochise County for all the hard work in 2025. Well done, great achievement, and thank you for the invitation to come to site a couple weeks ago. That was very nice. Cheers.
It was great to host you, and thank you so much for your time today, Robert.
Thank you.